Hello mages all over the world, my name is Martin and I'm raising flag from Prague, Czech Republic in Europe. Yes, I heard it too. Historic is destroyed format. You cannot play Historic at all. There are only goblins or elves and it's shit and no one is playing that. I heard it too. I heard that opinion. But everybody who's saying those things probably never played goblins or elf deck. I know it could be annoying play against those deck, but when you play it, you will find out that Arena will manage to nerf you as fuck. As fuck. You will find out that with elves or goblin decks, you are not winning 70%, you are not winning 60%, you are winning about 55% of your games, which is still enough. You are climbing up. I'm shooting this intro from the future. I've already played the games and I know that I will rank pretty fast and pretty high, but it still was 2-hour run because I was losing so many times to Aura deck, to board wipe deck, to elf deck, and so on and so on. There are so many decks which can beat you, and if there are not decks which can beat you, you just end up with 2 lands all game, and you are waiting till they're Ugin, and then you're pretty much done. So it's not as they say. It's not super overpowered, powerful deck, but it's still pretty decent deck, and my version of goblins are probably, for me, the best version of goblins. I also wait a minute. Also got totally the same deck here in box. I'm using it when I'm playing paper magic because this deck is absolutely beast when you don't play Arena, where matchmaking system will hold back you, and the land screw is pretty common. But in paper, this deck is the beast. And yeah, in Arena, when everybody who hates elves and goblins, please play them at least 2 hours, and you will find out that this deck are not as strong as you think. That yes, sometimes they go off as fuck, but there are too many decks which can beat those decks, and that's probably the reason why Muxus will not be banned, is not banned and will not be banned, so as the key part of elves will not be banned, because Arena can handle those decks differently. You will get small amount of lands or only lands, and you can you will be match making with the decks specifically designed against your deck. For example, turn 1 cage in main deck in best of 1 will pretty much shut you down. Soul Warden in live game deck, turn 1, pretty much turn off your Krenko, at least for 1 turn, but when you got 2 Soul Wardens, your Krenko is pretty much done. You are giving them so much lives, and their creatures are flying and so big, and you got no life gain. So your deck is pretty much useless. When they kill your Skirk turn 1 on turn 2, you're pretty much waiting whether you survive till turn 4 or 5. But you will see. Don't say you hate those decks unless you play them at least 2 hours, and you will find out that they are not as strong. But my version of Goblin is super strong. I mean, yeah, I played 2 hours, but I did whole tier and more in Platinum. I'm almost Diamond. I was in the middle of Platinum before Easter holidays. I thought I will be in Diamond or in Mythic in this time, but I was spending much time with my family and with my kids during holidays. We really enjoyed it. My older boy is 3 years old, and he really enjoyed these holidays, so it was super fun with them, and I didn't play almost at all. So today I picked up where I started in Thursday last week, and the goblins will serve me well. Whole 1 tier and more, almost 1.5 tier in 2 hours is great, but the games are super quick and you will lose a lot of them. But still, we got almost in Diamond, so it's pretty much a-okay. And why this version is so amazing against all the other versions, the main reason is this guy. Brash Taunter is the VIP of this deck. It can shut down so many decks, so many big creatures, and it's so great in a combo synergy of this deck, which I'm gonna tell King a little bit later. But this guy, indestructible whenever Brash Taunter is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target opponent. And for free and tap, Brash Taunter fight another creature. What is important? You can fight your own creature, which is super important because of Muxus. Muxus can be like super high. It could be 21 creature, for example, and you can fight your own creature, which is 21 damage to face. You will definitely see this game. And what's important, you can use it as instant speed, which means when their creature with 6 power attacking, you can assemble block. Then you can use this ability before the block is happened, which means 6 damage to face of your opponent, and after 6 damage to face, the actual block will happen, and it's another 6 damage. And a lot of players don't know that, so they're attacking with their biggest creature, and you can double the damage of the highest power of his creature to face by using this ability as instant speed, which means 6 power creature attacking, you block 6 power creature with Brash Taunter, you will use ability, then the block happened, and it's 6+6 to face. Definitely awesome. And as I mentioned, you can fight your own creature, so when you got 1 or 2 damage off, you can fight, for example, your Goblin Warchief, your Krenko, your Muxus, or some dare of creature if they got one, and it's pretty much the strongest, almost the strongest card in this deck. You can play it cheap because of Goblin Warchief, or you can play it for free because of Muxus. And it's pretty common in this combination, that's why I play 3 of them, because it saved me so many games. I would lost so many games if I wouldn't have a Brash Taunter in my deck. And the rest is pretty common. Muxus, throwing goblins into play and growing when Muxus attack. Krenko, generate 1/1 goblins. These two Warchiefs gives them haste, and this one pumps them, this one makes them cheaper. Goblin Matron will find whatever answer you need. Usually it's some haste trigger, or Muxus, or Skirk Prospector to be able to use a lot of lands. When you sacrifice Goblin, you got 1 red mana, and with Krenko you got a lot of goblins to sacrifice, which means you can basically play all your hand. We got Conspicuous Snoop, which is our card advantage. We can see our top deck, and when it's top of our deck, and when it's Goblin we can play it, and when we got Krenko and Skirk Prospector we can play almost a whole deck until we reach the land and we have to stop. With Conspicuous Snoop there is also another combo variation. When on the top of the deck there is Krenko, you have to put stop watch on your upkeep, and you can use Krenko ability before you draw Krenko, which means you can use it right away in your turn, and then you can use it again before you draw Krenko, and when you got 4 lands you can play Krenko and use it again, which means 3 triggers of Krenko because of Conspicuous Snoop. Absolutely amazing card advantage, super great. Skirk Prospector, I mentioned it, and then we got 2 very important cards. First is Goblin Instigator, which generate 1/1 red goblin with it, which it means 2 mana, 2 creatures, and we got Wily Goblin 1/1 but generate treasure. And why those cards are so important? Because they will help us to play Muxus in turn 3. In turn 3 you can play 6 land Muxus pretty easily with this deck. Happened me all the time. In 10 games you will do it like 2 or 3 times guaranteed. And how you can do it? You play turn 1 Skirk, turn 2 Wily with treasure, and turn 3 you got 3 lands and treasure, which is 4 land, and you got Skirk and Wily as a creature, which you can sacrifice and use it as land. It means you got 6 land available turn 3, which could be turn 2 of your opponent, and when they got only 2 lands in play you are throwing Muxus into the board, and you can find all those crazy goblin and destroy them like in turn 2, which is super easy. And Goblin Instigator basically do the same. Turn 1 Skirk Prospector, turn 2 another 2 creatures, which means you got 2 land and 3 creatures, and turn 3 you got your 3rd land and 3 creatures. You can sack the creatures even the Skirk Prospector, which is 3 lands, and your 3 lands, which is 6, and another you can play Muxus in turn 3, which could be turn 2 of your opponent. So this is a deck. This is my variation of goblins, probably the strongest one. I am winning so many games. I'm losing too, but it's because of matchmaking and because of land screw. But when you are not land screwed, you usually can beat even the matchup where you shouldn't win, like aura decks, because you got Brash Taunter And when they got 15-17 Spirit Dancer, and you will fight it with Brash Taunter, it's 15 damage to face, and you basically win pretty easily. So with this variation of deck, you can win even matchups where you shouldn't win, which means I'm slightly above 60% of win rate and I am able to climb pretty fast. I was playing since new season began. I was playing like maybe 5 hours of time, and in 5 hours I'm almost in diamond, so pretty easy. Super strong deck. Muxus will never be banned because Arena handling those decks differently. And stop complaining, try to play it. You will find out that it's not as easy as it looks like. Sometimes it is, but most time it isn't. Let's see how we perform. Do it! Alright, let's do it. Potentially Muxus turn 3. That's what we want to see. We're not on play, so it's gonna be hard against elves. But still, turn 3 Muxus could be great. Yes, you can have it. Next turn Muxus. And that's how it is. Elves throwing their creatures. Even with one land, they got potentially 3 for Lanover elves, and just better Sentinel. But still, with only one land and our Muxus turn 3, we got a chance. Our treasure is one land, and sacrifice 2 goblins makes it 6. Great. That's exactly what we need. And we want to be big, so we use our treasure. They don't block, so it should be GG. It's not something what could save them. GG. So we got our combo. 6 lands in turn 3, so let's hope we will draw Muxus or way to find it. Oh my god. What is that? Magic is so easy. But they got ways to kill my Prospector. So it won't be as quick as it could be, but we could play Skirk, but in that case he would be dead, so I will wait one more turn and then play it right away with Muxus. Yes, you can attack, because I like to see not much blocking creature. You are tapped out on only Bone Crush Giant. That's what we wanna see. Let's play Skirk. And we already know that. Take action. We will find Aster. GG, that was all what we needed. Alright. 2 previous games was built around Muxus. This time we could win through Krenko. But we need lands, that's all we need. Then we would play Warchief, then Krenko, and then the rest is history. Alright. Let's leave it like this, because land is all we need for Muxus. So maybe it's gonna be around Muxus at all. At the end of the day, Muxus saves the day. Yeah, but the opponent got wild. Land, no land. But we can do it like this. And we can do it like this. And we still can wait one more turn. Next turn it could be Krenko if we don't draw land, and if we do, we probably play Muxus, since we got the Goblin Warchief in play. Means we got the haste we need, and we still could save our Skirk Prospector, which means We could play both our Krenko then after Muxus, if we will be lucky. I wouldn't block anything, I need all goblins. Alright, so we could play Krenko, and we would have 5 lands thanks to Krenko. We could play Muxus. Or we could play Muxus first. We hopefully get some goblins to sacrifice. Alright. Great to see. No death touch. So we could probably wait. Brash Taunter would be great here. It would help us because we are able to fight our own Muxus, and it would be 11 damage to face. But hey, let's wait. Next turn we can play Goblin Chieftain, pump up our creatures, play another Krenko after we use our first Krenko, which will generate pretty heavyweight. That could be scary. But only one card in hand. That's positive. No attack. We got him. We got him. So we will probably use him. Boom. Or not. Never mind, we know how it would go. Yorion. He got slow start, but still turn 3 or 4 Nissan, and that's problem begins. We got some blockers to survive. We can play Muxus cheaper. We got haste for our Krenko if we don't draw lands, so pretty great hand. But it would be great if our opponent got fast internet, because we are waiting too long. Wake me up. Hallelujah. Our opponent decided to play with us. Alright. It's definitely a counterspell. This one though, maybe not. Great. Great. Yeah, for life is nothing for goblins. So what it's gonna be? There will be board wipe after this turn. So at least lands for Muxus. We need to be ready. We need to be ready for board wipes. Because after board wipe, there is a window. And we can win easily. It's gonna be Cage. And Cage costs 1. So that's about it. It means we play you and you. What? Activated ability. We cannot use our treasures. Of course. Of course.
There are greater battles to fight.
Now we can, but there will be board wipe. The Karn is killing me. Every game, no matter what deck I play, Karn usually has some advantage against my deck. Finding Cage, finding 4/4 flyer, you cannot lose game. And all those nonsense. Has to be counter. No. No counter spell. They got 4 lands open. So how about that? They are dead. But when they do have settled the wreckage, I'm still in pretty good shape. Cool. We are on play. We got ramp. We can be cheaper. But lures, it's gonna be probably Aura decks. And Aura deck is heavily prepared against goblins. Because it's turn 3, we are dead. Only chance we got to be quick. Maybe throw Brash Taunter on board to be able to block their core spirit motherfucker. But when they are flying or got I don't need it. Well, yeah. Doggy is out. I need to be cheaper. But once they are flying, no chance. So far, no flying. Alright. Well, let's see what we can do. Hell yeah! Aura, aura. Turn 1 cage. Like what? Someone's playing red and got turn 1 cage. Really, matchmaking? Have you seen deck like this in a million years? I haven't seen big red control in years. But when you win too much, you need to be stopped. So I will throw you turn 1 cage. Alright. Brash Taunter would be actually good for this matchup. Since all their removals will be designed on damage level. So for example, Storm's Wrath or all those 3 damage to all creatures is pretty okay with Brash Taunter. And we actually got reason to play our Muxus anyway, because he didn't bring any creatures, but our Brash Taunter could attack it. Great. We've played land, so it's enough. It is enough. There is only one problem, and it's Ugin. And there will be Ugin. Shit. Like, come on. Throw me deck, which got answer for every single card in my deck. No one's playing Brash Taunter. But we are losing Indestructible with Soulseer. Yay! Yeah. We don't have any haste. But Mr. D. Ben is probably playing against goblins a lot. But hey, it's true that against elves this deck is great too. So maybe it's not just against goblins, but also against elves. And it's pretty much all the meta right now, especially in best of 1. It's okay, I got backup. But I really need some haste. I really need some haste.
I advise that you yield.
You can have another cage. Definitely. Still no haste. If you don't draw, what you can do? So you got blockers. But I think it's okay. See. If you don't draw board wipe, you got only one card, one chance. If it's not board wipe,
A curious choice.
if it's not board wipe, I got a chance. And it's not board wipe. You got only 2 blockers. You got only 2 blockers. 6, 9 damage. If I attack, hey. I didn't have lethal, I would lose my Krenko, and it's still about whether you draw board wipe or not. So in this case, this is much better. That's 1 card, that's 2nd, and Karn. That's 3rd. And Karn can help.
The choices we make reveal who we are.
Great. This will give you card, this will not. That's about it. Yay! Turn 1 cage. Keep 7. I'm on play and Snoop will help me find lands. No land. Fuck. Still no land. Still no land. Yeah, that's what they need. Finally land. And land means Muxus. Collected company. And it's another collected company. So hopefully we will have something crazy too. Corrected company. We saw that coming. Yay, pretty army. Brash Taunter would be great. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's throw the Brash Taunter in it. Check this out. Whoops. Yeah. That's all I needed. Throw you. And you. And you. And you. And let's fight my own Muxus. Pay you. And you. That's how you use Brash Taunter. Good game, salty as shit. Woohoo! Brash Taunter. So much time, we got only 2 lands in our hand. And we are still playing only against elves. So annoying matchmaking. Either there are only elves in the format, like 60% of meta are elves, or the matchmaking system is hell of a shit. Hopefully they don't go off as they can, and hopefully they will not be much wide. Attack, great. Let's play our only chance with 2 lands. It would be great to save our Skirk Prospector. Hey. It's okay. Let's play you. Let's play you. Let's activate you. You can have collected company, but it should be okay. Yeah. Fuck you, elf. Great. We got Muxus. And we got potentially full hand of counter spells. Hopefully there will be land. No, of course, no lands in my deck. So let's create land to be able to play something. And let's create potentially side outlets for Skirk Prospector, because when they don't counter anything, right, it's actually great news because this deck doesn't play much counter spell. Alright, they are searching for answers. It's actually good. With only one land open. Skirks would be great. No block. Alright. Good game. We are on play. And we got potentially chance to play Muxus turn 3. We need to draw land and we need to draw Muxus. We got land, so we have to prepare everything for Muxus if we draw it. Okay, shade is alright. It doesn't block. With Muxus next turn, I could be pretty quick. Lures is great. You cannot block, don't you know that? Alright. We actually can do that. We can finish it. Brash Taunter is so powerful there. Finish him. In turn 3 of our opponent. I go first, and I could be cheaper. I could be pretty fast. And mainly, I got 3 lands in my hand. That's not usual these days. Throw land there. So what colors are you? It could be Rakdos or Auras. or mono black. Auras. So our Brash Taunter could be handy. It could be handy. Fighting your 13 core crazy man, crazy spirit dancer. When you got Krenko on the top, you have to click on stop and then you can use the ability before you will draw Krenko. And you got another Krenko there, so you will use your stop again. No attack. You can draw your cards because I got different plan. I'm interested whether you will take my Brash Taunter. You should, because that's the only card against you. But you didn't. Okay, good choice. No block. I don't need stop. Alright. If it's gonna be land, I will drop another Goblin Warchief, then another Krenko. After I use the first Krenko, and it will be pretty army. But it's tempting to drop Brash Taunter. It's tempting. No block. And now I need to be careful. I need to leave blockers. So probably Brash Taunter it would be best play, but with their auras six. I need to be able to use Brash Taunter right away, which means Skirk would be great, because with their auras, I could be dead pretty easily. Alright. Grow your spirit dancer. Not a bad idea. But I really need Skirk. It was enough. It was enough. All one tier. Hell yeah. Let's test it out. I have to build my fortress, which means I have to throw some blockers and red. And I need to be quick. Or not, I got Muxus. So if I draw land, I could play it next turn. Or I could throw Skirk in my hand. All right. Every damage counts, because Brash Taunter could finish you as nothing. Okay, still no Ugin. Board wipe is fine. Great. And we are back with our deck. So you saw pretty much everything I was talking about in intro. You saw Muxus in turn 3, you saw Brash Taunter VIP of this deck saving the day, you saw Goblin Matron, how we were finding Brash Taunter for winning, we were finding Muxus for winning, we were finding Skirk Prospector for having more lands available, and we were finding some haste ability to be able to attack immediately or use Brash Taunter immediately. So the deck as a whole works pretty well. the synergy of all the pieces, of all the combos, because there are a lot of combos in this deck, are pretty well balanced. 21 land is great. Sometimes you got problem with lands, but Skirk Prospector will help you, and also Snoop will help you to play cards from the top of your library to be able to get 2 lands. When you got, for example, 4 lands and you need 6 land, play every card from the top of your library and until you reach the land, and next turn you got a land guarantee. And for example, 2 cards you could play from the top of your library. So this deck is super powerful. This version could beat anybody if you're not land screwed. But still, there are decks designed to kill this deck in turn 1 with Cage, and turn 2 with Soul Warden, and turn 4 with Boar Wipe, and then it's pretty much nothing you can do. So test it out. Don't hate goblins. My heart beats in red, especially in goblins. I got a commander deck with Krenko Mob Boss as commander. The video of the deck is in this channel, so definitely check this out, because it's the most expensive commander, Krenko commander deck you can have. I got pretty no budget cards there, like pretty expensive ones, so definitely check the video. And I got also this deck, this same deck in my paper variation, so I can play this deck immediately at the table. And it was almost the first deck I built in Arena for Historic, because I know how powerful it can be. And Brash Taunter is amazing. Have a magical day or night, whatever. Leave like, subscribe. I got a huge giveaway of foiled Jeweled Lotus in extended art for subscribers, so definitely consider subscription. And have a magical day or night, and see you at the next one. Bye bye.